All right, I wanted to share with you. I'm going to create. I wanted to make sure. I wanted to make sure that you guys had an understanding of how I wanted you to complete the assignment called the Weather and Climate Online Review. I will be posting that video right underneath these list of topics. You're to pick one of these topics, and you are to either post a YouTube video or a map that you think captures one of these topics, and then you have to summarize it. I have captured how to post a video, an embedded video here about layers in the atmosphere, and I specifically targeted understanding ozone depletion. All right. Since we already did this with the 5 themes of geography of embedding a YouTube video, I love YouTube videos, but I also love to embed maps and having students understanding and reading a map for patterns and trends with the map. So I'm going to give a demonstration of one of the topics that I want to pick, and I'm going to show you, and I'm going to make a second post here. But you will pick one of these topics, and there's some instructions on here, and you have to respond to at least, as long as we get at least 10 other students' posts relating to their videos. So I want you, and you could use mine as one as well, and I'm going to have 2 on here. Hopefully we'll have enough students in here able to do this. You pick one of these topics from the readings on weather and climate, and you will then find a map or a video. I've already posted a sample video. I'm going to show you how I would do this with maybe doing a map. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say the topic I'm going to look at is I am looking at something that I know we're getting very interested in is energy from the sun. Energy from the sun is basically a topic where we click onto there, and this gets us an idea about how the angle of the sun comes in, and we know this from prior lessons. We kind of get an idea that at different times of the year we know the sun angle changes, all right? And we really talked about atmospheric energy and energy flows as well. It's kind of related to this topic as well, but when we look at energy receipts at the Earth, I kind of try to measure how much energy are we actually getting from the sun around the globe, and how does that vary? And so, the topic I'm really trying to hit upon is one of these 2. I'm going to call it energy from the sun, but it could be this one as well. So what I did is I'm going to stop the share, and I'm going to share one of my, set it up here. I went and opened up Google, and I put, in Google, I highlighted and built a search for global solar radiation receipts. What I'm trying to get an idea is, what are the variations and where are the hot spots around the world for where we see more solar radiation being captured by the Earth's surface? What does the geography of this look like? And, there's just tons of maps over here, and I ended up, I could have looked at one that was just a national. I'm trying to come up with one that's probably from a legitimate source, a government agency, or a company that is an established company that is researching. Obviously, solar panels and solar energy is becoming a very important industry across the globe. And so I locked in on one down in the list, and I go ahead and click on it. And I read the map, and I'm seeing the scale or the legend here. And this tells me, does this look like a legitimate source? It's in Wikimedia Commons. So I'm looking at it, I'm reading about it, and I'm getting an idea of what the map, it represents the average daily average daily / yearly totals of global horizontal irradiation covered from time periods 1994, 1999, 1997. They tell you, you're getting an idea that this data set was fairly well researched, it looks like, and they give you a link here of where the data come from. And I get the idea, here are the daily totals and here are the yearly totals, okay? And so this gives you an idea on a daily output in kilowatts per hour per meter, how much is being generated. You start to see the reds and the pinks represent the highest areas, the blues represent the lowest areas, and you can clearly see where are some of the best places in the world to locate and build maybe solar panels, because there is clearly a geography. This area is around the equatorial regions. In fact, you even have your latitudes here. I'm going to go ahead and use this map, and I'm going to make sure I know Solar GIS is, I think, the data source from, and that's going to be something I'm going to cite on there. I'm going to go ahead and go copy the image, and then I'm going to stop there, and I think I have a good idea of how to communicate the topic. I'm going to go back to my Zoom, and I'm going to go ahead and click reply, and I'm going to go ahead and right click and go paste. And there is the map, and you know, I would click under here, click under the map at that point. And drop my cursor and make sure I type the source is something like Solar GIS. I think they capped it. So we have an idea of what organization. This is obviously an organization trying to evaluate and determine the patterns of solar radiation hitting the Earth on an annual basis and on a daily basis. This is kind of a double whammy. You get kind of a daily look and a yearly look of what the potential is for a region to produce solar radiation. So you would say, and you would just summarize this map the way I did here. Now, I'm going to do this after class because I want to get done with it fairly quickly. So what you try to do is you put the topic of where you pulled from, and I would say that this would be a topic from atmospheric energy, temperature, and heat, or energy from the sun, one of those two topics. And this is what the differing sun angles effectively look like and the amount of solar radiation we see hitting the Earth. And so what I want is when you're locating and you produce a map, I want to specifically see what regions are the highs and what regions are the lows. So in this example, you know, I'll be summarizing, you know, areas in North Africa and Australia, in Saudi Arabia and Mexico and the Southwest United States have some of the highest solar radiation levels in kilowatts per square meter. And this kind of gives us an idea of the geography of the sun's energy, right? I'm going to go ahead and click reply on there, even though I haven't finished putting my text in. I'm going to type it in when I'm done. So there's my map, and I'll finish putting the text in there. And here's one with a video. You could either pick a video or a map. I really like seeing people put maps. So by the way, I actually have on my video,
in the atmosphere.
I actually have,
The spin is perpendicular.
I even have a video that has a map on it. So as the narration is going on, and I like to put in bold, I like to use the editing tools and highlight the words on there that I think are some of the key words in bold. In this example, I'm going to be talking about solar radiation in the and make sure I reference the units. This is shortwave radiation coming in from the sun. So I'll leave this one up, and I'm just going to edit it real quick and finish off the text in here so you guys will have another model to use. But I wanted you to see how I did this and how you kind of cite it. That way you give credit and attribution where you need to. And it tells you right here at the bottom where the source came from, by the way. So, I mean, it was on the map itself, but it's always nice that you give attribution as well. So When you do this assignment, you get 10 points for posting a video with a summary and 10 points for reviewing these topics. And this will help you potentially as you help get ready for the quiz and upcoming tests by looking at as many topics as possible. And that's why as soon as a topic is picked by a student, you need to pick a different one and try to find a topic on that subject. And then you need to try to review as many of them as you can, but you need to do at least a minimum of 10. All right, since I've given you a sample here, I will stop here and I'll get this posted for you. And hopefully this will help you complete the assignment.